Every night we've been watching anime. That's just our ritual.
What are you watching?
Fucking everything, dude. Like not everything literally, but we'll go through Crunchyroll and
I just don't like anime.
I do enjoy it.
I mean, for the most part, I don't like anime. I get bored with it. I'm like, I want to see real people with like real expressions. Like,
well, there's some gems though. Like there's one called Spy Family. Mm-hmm. And I love anime titles because they're so fucking literal. And then there's one called Buddy Daddies, where it's like...
Buddy Daddies.
Yeah, perfect. But it's actually really sweet. These guys are assassins. One of their targets they kill and orphan his daughter. He's like an asshole, so that kind of like justifies it, quote unquote.
Right.
And then they take her on as their adopted daughter, and she's like 5 and, you know, precocious, and they're trying to lead lives of assassins. And that's the type of anime my daughter really gets into, and I can get into it too. I enjoy it.
Sure.
Sometimes I want a palate cleanser though. I'm like, can we watch some real fucking people? Sometimes. So today she's like, oh, Dad, we can watch real people tonight. I'm like, oh, really? What?
Oh, God.
I said, what is it? Well, it's this documentary called I Just Killed My Dad. I'm like, what? This is what you want to watch with your father? Are you trying to fucking tell me something?
In a world of bad movies, 2 follically challenged men will stop at nothing to share their opinions of them. Their wives are tired of listening. But are you? This isn't the podcast you deserve, but it's the one you need. Prepare yourself for Bald Guys and Bad Movies.
Welcome to Bald Guys and Bad Movies, episode 47. I am Troy.
Troy, cut it out!
Here with my buddy.
I am Mike.
Stella!
I am Mike. Is that like I Am Sam? Remember
like,
that movie? Did you ever see that movie with Sean Penn?
What about Happy Jack?
That is a great way of saying the non-PC thing that was in all of our minds. Yes, like Happy Jack. What are we reviewing this week, Mike?
Apparently, we couldn't figure out what to watch, and we've both been kind of busy. So we decided we would do a 3-week Last of Us marathon and review episode 8.
What do you want?
Name's David. This here's my friend James.
There's room for you in our group if you want. You won't survive for long out there.
I don't mean to question your sense of mercy, David. She's just another mouth to feed. Maybe that's God's will. If we leave her out here, she'll die.
The others want to kill you?
Move it! We gotta get you out of here.
And I gotta say, I don't think there was anything we could have found that would have topped episode 8. I really, really loved episode 8. I don't know about you, but
Episode 8 I really liked it too. I thought they did a great job. I
got notes. You got notes?
I got notes.
Oh, good. It's good to have notes. When it's a love fest.
I got some qualms.
Yeah.
I got some qualms with the episode.
All right. Well, good. We'll get into it. So, no summary like last week. You know what the show's about. You know why we're talking about it. And do we recommend this episode? Of course. So, this week's episode, and then next week
the
is
finale.
the finale. So,
Yep.
We're almost there. Let's get into it. So, the episode title is When We Are in Need. Ellie leaves Joel, who is still recovering, to hunt for food. And after shooting a deer,
Sure does.
she tracks the wounded animal and encounters a preacher, David, and his fellow hunter, James. She trades her deer for penicillin. The man who stabbed Joel was a member of his group. This is the asshole with a broken bat that put Joel in the predicament he's in. Ellie leaves to treat Joel. The next day, she discovers David and the men have followed her to seek vengeance on Joel. She flees to draw them away, but is captured. At David's camp, he reveals he's been feeding his group human flesh. I got a lot to say about that. Yuck.
Venison.
Meanwhile, Joel awakens and, yes, tortures the shit out of David's men, these fucking neckbeards, into telling him Ellie's whereabouts. David and James attempt to kill Ellie, but she kills James and escapes. David hunts her down, and she overpowers him and kills him with a meat cleaver. Can you see why I love this episode? Joel finds a traumatized Ellie outside the cult's burning community center and comforts her. To be continued.
Bringing every viewer on the planet watching this show to their knees with 2 simple words. Baby girl.
Baby girl. That's right. Last time he said that was when? For the OG baby girl.
The real baby girl.
Real baby girl. 20 years ago. So
well, good, glad you. Okay, that's the episode.
That's setting the table. So let's talk about it now. That's what happened. But there's a lot to unpack
next
there.
week on Bald Guys and Bad Movies.
So now we can just talk about, instead of us recapping what happened, let's talk about each point.
Yeah.
What didn't you like?
It's not that I didn't like it.
What are your notes?
I was disappointed that we didn't get the zombie scene.
I don't remember the zombie scene.
You don't remember the zombies from the game?
Nope.
I got stuck on this. Was
There's
one
so
part,
many more zombie moments in the game that it's like
this was the one zombie moment that I got stuck on. She's hanging out with David, waiting for the penicillin to get back, and you have to fight a bunch of zombies off, and then you run up into this little room, and there's zombies coming in from every direction. And you really gotta and I didn't have that much ammo, and I'm dropping bombs here and there because I know where they're coming. It was just, and then there's freaking bloaters coming at you, and it was so difficult. And then when he shows up and he reveals that he knows that she's the ones, her and Joel are the one who killed the guy. And then he tells OG Joel, original game Joel, to put the gun down. I'm like, oh, I guess we're not getting that scene. I'm like, God damn it. Basically, the same thing happens, except there's a zombie fight before she gets the penicillin.
And they mentioned that in the Last of Us podcast. That's how they bond. They bond over fighting this horrible thing together. But I mean, I don't know. I didn't miss it.
I did.
Yeah,
I did.
But it's fresh for you.
But also, Andrea has been complaining. She's like, I like the show, and I'm still totally on board with the show. But for a zombie show, there's not many zombies. I mean, we've gone 3 episodes, right, without even seeing a zombie, except for the one in one zombie in the mall, and so she's just I'm just missing the zombies. And I was like, you know what, I'm kind of missing them too. I want to see more zombies.
That is a critique when I go to Metacritic, and
oh yeah,
I mean, there's people that absolutely shit on it, and
oh really? Of course
they'll complain about the zombies in the same breath. Talk about woke agendas and Neil Druckmann. It's the gay stuff, anything homosexual or whatever. But I see their point with the zombie though. It
doesn't have to be some giant, spectacle like episode 5. It can just be a few zombies getting in and a little bit of stakes. You know what I mean?
You know what they needed? I think the season was too short.
Yeah.
I feel like they need at least 2 more episodes. Their journey, you know what I mean?
Yeah, it did feel fast. The game takes a while, you know what I mean?
Well, not just fast, but to your point, in the game, they're out there. Not every place is contained, right?
Right.
There's a reason why people don't just go fucking moseying off in the wilderness. You stay in a group. In the game, that threat is always there.
Yeah. I feel like when they're in the wilderness in the show, it's you don't really have to worry about zombies because they're just in the cities.
I think the problem is it's not just trying to make it grounded. It's about the relationship moment and character building.
And I get that, but we need zombies. I feel like even if you don't have zombies in every episode, you need the threat of zombies, I feel like, in every episode.
And if you had more zombies, then you would satisfy my earlier critique. Is that we weren't getting enough badass Joel, right?
Right.
For his evolution, for the panic attack and everything. Imagine if we had an episode somewhere before the panic attack that we really get to see this guy being a fucking savage.
I agree with that, but I also feel like really we just need more zombies.
Yeah.
I feel like zombies need to be more of a threat throughout. And I couldn't argue with Andrea about that point. I'm like, yeah, I guess you kind of have a point. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Tell you the truth, I had less of a complaint about zombies throughout and more of a complaint with just the zombie parts that are in the game, the big zombie situations in the game are just, some of them are just missing. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Granted, they did add one. They added the zombie part for the Kansas City, which wasn't really in the game, I don't think. That was more of just having to deal with the Raiders. But I think we just need more zombies. The show would do better to have more zombies.
Because it's wrapping up, and we didn't get a moment of, while Joel is down, that feels like that should have been at least 2 episodes. Right?
Yeah.
Like,
well, that's the whole thing.
Ellie trying to face a clicker by herself.
And that's some fast working penicillin. That's all I'm saying. Like that, you know what I mean? That's like, that ain't just penicillin. That's like, you know, super penicillin. Like, how the fuck is he off, like, trying to rescue Ellie, like, when the day before he was dead to the world?
And Troy Baker asked that in podcast. It's been like several weeks, and they're like,
I didn't listen to that podcast, actually.
So it's only been like a couple days.
Right.
Like the beginning of this episode from the last, when he collapsed off the horse, it's only been a couple days. So to your point, it's even worse than that, though, because it's been a couple days since the beginning of the episode, but she gets the penicillin from David's group.
Yeah.
Injects Joel, and it's like, is it same day, or maybe it's like the
next?
No,
I think it's the next day.
Yeah.
The next day, he's feeling like he's a lot better. It's weird. It's super weird.
Yes, you know,
it is what it is. It's movie magic, baby.
Right. We'll forgive all that if we have more fucking clickers.
Yeah, absolutely,
right.
Absolutely. All is forgiven with more zombie attacks. I really like the guy who they played David. I thought he did a great job, and did a great job of slowly ramping up the creep factor throughout the episode. And I love the fact that they got Troy Baker, right? That's his name?
Troy Baker's fucking awesome, dude.
The OG Joel.
Yeah, in case you don't know, the guy who played James, which is David's second in command, is Troy Baker, the voice actor of Joel from the game.
James. Yeah. I sensed doubt in there.
I haven't lost faith in you, David. I'm just scared.
And also, he's done Batman. He's done so many. He is
He's
a superstar.
He's one of the heavy. He's a voiceover superstar.
Right. But I mean, the guy, good-looking guy, has proven he can be on. He probably has had some on-screen roles. I just don't know about it. But just feel like he should be in more.
You know what I saw the other day? I saw the scene in the game where he's telling Ellie that he's not going to go with her, right? And he's having that whole conversation, the big conversation. Someone took the mocap video and like put it on top of the gameplay, so like you see it happening in real, like the mocap
It's all
happening in
synced
real
up,
time.
yeah,
it was really cool to watch, and it was funny. I was watching it, and it was great, right? But I was like, I could see why he wouldn't play Joel in the show, because he's not a heavy hitter when it comes to on-screen acting. He just isn't. Like his face doesn't sell it the way that Pedro Pascal's face.
Well, he's definitely physicality wise, he's definitely not an opposing figure.
Exactly.
Were you kind of meh on his performance in this episode then?
Well, no, I thought he was great as a supporting role. You know what I mean? As like a kind of a smaller character. But he wouldn't, I'm just saying he would not have been able to carry the series.
Oh, yeah,
you know what I mean?
Right.
Which is why, like, someone like Marlene, they could easily have the actress who played her play her, because she is a bit character. You know what I mean? And she dies super quick.
So now that we've seen the episode, do you think he could have pulled off David? Remember, we were like, why do they always cast the creepy guy as the creepy guy?
Well, I don't really think they did. I tell you the truth, I really didn't think he was that creepy. He came off kind of creepy in the scenes from the next episode because of the portion they used. But I felt he did a great job of slowly introducing the creep. Like I said earlier, like, I think at first you see him and he's just a preacher, and granted, anytime you have a preacher in a post-apocalyptic setting, you're like, this shit ain't gonna turn out good. You know what I mean? Like my ears perk up, like my bullshit radar goes off. Like, this guy is. I'm not a religious person, and I have a very healthy skepticism of any sort of religious figure. You know what I mean? Like a man who holds him, or a woman, I guess, who holds
just so
himself.
you know, this little soundbite will be played back in heaven as you try to enter.
Well, in my opinion, if there is a heaven,
or play it in hell as you are allowed to enter.
I'll have a better chance of getting in than Joel Osteen or any of these fucking super church preachers who are all going to hell because they're a bunch of charlatan ass mofos.
I remember growing up, there was a TV evangelist named Ernest Angley. My mom used to watch Ernest Angley.
And he's freaking probably big charlatan just trying to steal all these poor people's money.
Absolutely. I got a question about David. So, and this is jumping a little further down. Like
when he smacks the girl, though, I'm sorry, I just want to say, when he smacks the fucking little girl, I was like, God damn, he fucking laid into that girl.
Well, there's stuff to unpack in that scene, too. Throughout the episode, and then especially at the end, like when he has Ellie pinned down, he's like, this is actually how I like it. Yeah. And then he alludes to, you have darkness in your heart like I have darkness. And he used to be a teacher and he wasn't always religious until the apocalypse. Was this guy like a serial killer or?
I think he was either a serial killer or at least a rapist. Okay. You know what I mean? Pedophile, something in that vein.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, absolutely. And that's probably why he was a teacher.
Yeah, I'm just wondering, just seeing if it was just me. Am I reading too much into it?
We were watching it and he's like, I was a math teacher. And Andrea goes to me, she's like, math teachers are always fucking sadists. She's like, especially men math teachers.
We have a geometry teacher called Mr. Little. He basically gave up on us. Me and my friends, we were just dumbasses in geometry. And he literally turned his back and taught the rest of the class. And we sat in the corner playing cards and just bullshitting. Yeah.
Holy shit.
Yeah. Mr. Little was his name. Poor man.
We had a woodshop teacher in 7th grade who, for one thing, was missing the tips of like 4 fingers on one hand.
That's what you want to see. The guy's going to teach you how to use an angular saw.
Yeah, exactly. He was always shit-faced drunk. Like he always had like a sports bottle, like a water bottle full of orange juice.
He's drunk because what you didn't know, he had his pecker in his hand when the blade fell. So he lost another tip. Poor guy.
I don't think so. But that was it was so funny because in the back of the wood shop, there was this little like storage room and it had like one of those suck fans in it in the roof and a whole bunch of like crap in it. So me and my buddies, I didn't really do it.
By the way, I hope we get suck fans one day. We get so big.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Luckily, my wife doesn't listen to this podcast, but my mom does. For fuck's sake, Troy, you gotta say shit.
I'm sure your mom will love for you to have a fan or fans.
Oh Jesus. Anyways, moving on.
All right.
And so we actually moved like a bunch of crap out of there and put some chairs back there, and we would literally sit there in class like smoking weed, like all class long with the fan on, just blowing the smoke up into the suck fan. And
are you worried about your mom hearing this, or she's fine?
No, I've told her this before. Okay. I'm pretty sure.
Blowjobs off the table, but smoking weed perfectly okay.
Yeah, totally.
Got it.
I mean, I've told her lots of drug stories. Told her about the time I first did acid at the house, and she didn't know about it. But she was there, like she was in the other room.
Has your mother partaken of the spirit of the earth?
Okay, I'm calling you out now, Mom. Sorry, I love you to death, but
the peyote, she and Ray go off in the desert.
It's funny you say that because she was like, you know what? It would, like when we first were talking about weed and stuff, and she was like, I was never really that into weed. It always just made me fall asleep, and I just didn't like it that much. You know what I liked a lot more? Mescaline. And I was like, God damn, Mom. Like, you can't even find that shit nowadays.
All right, back to the weird show.
Back to the show. Back to the zombie show with no zombies.
So you were mentioning that David, he's giving a sermon to his people.
Mm-hmm.
The guy who stabbed Joel with the bat, he has just died. We learned later, after that scene, that it is Joel. And the guy had a family, which is what I love. Yep. I love about this show. Like, we see him like, oh, Joe broke his fucking neck. And it's like, oh, I had a daughter and a wife. Show, stop ruining it for me.
I don't give a fuck. The dude stabbed him with a fucking broken baseball bat.
Yeah, I don't care
charged
either.
at him nah, dude. Like if they'd have come up and been like, "Hey, what do you guys do?" You know what I mean? Like we're not trying to start any shit. Like
Yeah, they came running like they were.
They came running at him like they were trying to attack him. Fuck it, you're getting fucking killed.
Oh,
like I'm gonna kill your
But
ass.
now we know why they were probably trying to attack them.
Oh, to eat them.
Fucking their food, dude.
Mm-hmm.
Their fucking food. So, and I love how that revelation is kind of laid out. Ellie shoots the deer, and then she has the confrontation with David. They make a deal. Here's some penicillin. They take the deer, and then you cut to the kitchen in David's compound, the resort,
right.
And they're cutting up meat. And I'm like, show, I know what you're about to do.
Yeah, exactly.
It's a big switch. Like, oh, they're cutting that deer up.
Yeah, she says, "What is that? What kind of meat is that?" He's like,
venison. Yeah.
And for people who don't know, venison is deer. Venison is deer, right?
And to further reinforce it, here's this delicious stew being served up. People are slurping it down, and they walk in with the fucking deer we just saw.
With the deer?
The venison. And it's already been established that they're starving, and it's hard to find any wildlife. So they're eating that girl's dad, pretty much. Because she asks, can we bury him? Well, the ground is too hard. Wink, wink.
Yeah, exactly.
And also, we're carving his ass up right now.
Yeah, exactly.
For your dinner tonight. And the girl's eating her own fucking father, doesn't know it.
Rough. And people are just like scooping it into their mouth all crazy because they're starved. It's like, oh, God, it's disgusting.
So I got the impression David knows James is second command, and probably the chefs, I imagine, who turned out to be, I think those are the guys that Joel kills, like the neckbeards that go looking for him. So, and then Ellie gets captured and she's thrown into a jail cell. What do you think about that scene?
I thought that scene was pretty decent. It didn't really, like, when she goes up and like grabs his hand, like to kind of sell, like she's like coming around, like
the caress.
Didn't really sell it for me. I mean, maybe it's like he's seeing what he wants to see kind of thing. So it's like, she doesn't have to sell it that much because he's so eager for it. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, he wants her to be his fucking little wife and his second in command wife type thing. And she's like, fuck you creep ass motherfucker. And then she like looks down and like she sees an ear on the floor and she realizes that they're fucking chopping up fools, chopping up their dead. And yeah, Dad, it's what's for dinner.
Whole new meaning to the phrase dad bod. So,
oh man.
Oh, and I like because she wouldn't say her name the entire episode almost, and then she breaks that motherfucker's finger, and he like bangs her head against the bars.
like
Okay, what'd you say? I'll cut you in little pieces, because.
Oh yeah, that was good. He was like,
You little cunt. Let's see what I go tell the others now.
Ellie,
What?
tell them that Ellie is a little girl who broke her fucking finger!
How did you put it? Tiny little pieces?
You tell him Ellie fucking broke your fucking finger.
yeah, you tell him Ellie's the name of the little girl who just broke your fucking finger. I loved it. It was good.
She in those moments, I can totally see Bella Ramsey playing Ellie in part 2. At least the intensity part of it, right? She's really selling it for me in that.
I do like the intensity. I feel like more and more though, I felt like what really kind of worked so well was because the model for Ellie in the game was so cute and pretty and like, you know what I mean? Like it really, like the dichotomy of her attractiveness and her beauty and
The viciousness.
and the viciousness on the other hand that she can have, like I felt like that really worked to give you that sort of feel, that crazy like on edge feeling. I feel like Bella Ramsey she's not very pretty. You know, she's kind of weird looking, you know, and I'm not trying to be mean or anything. I'm just saying it doesn't have that same sort of dichotomy. You know what I mean? Like
completely understand what you're saying.
And so that's the only reason why I'm a little disappointed they didn't find an actress who was a little bit prettier.
Because the juxtaposition between this cute, it's disarming. Right?
Yeah.
She's
so disarming. And like, I will say they do a great job. I'm not going to discount the fact that she does a great job with her performance to endear herself to you, because she really nails the goofy 14-year-old girl who can't stop talking.
The spirit of Ellie is completely
The spirit of Ellie is completely there.
100%.
I just feel like the look could have been... I feel like they could have found someone who kind of fulfilled the look a little bit better, and probably still gave just as good a performance, in my opinion.
Yeah.
And they're out there. I know she's out there somewhere. Yeah. You know what I mean? So, but yeah, just that's all I was saying. Like, I think she's doing a great job, like, performance-wise. I just feel like, you know, if she was a little bit prettier, you know, I'm being kind of a dick, but like...
No. Look, I'll be a dick.
But I'm not saying it to be a dick. Like, I'm saying it that I feel like it's part of her...
It's a weapon of the character. It's disarming.
Absolutely.
She is a cherubic, like a cute little girl who will stab your fucking eye out, right?
It didn't really sell it so much why he was so attracted to her.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like... I could see it in the game because she's gorgeous, you know what I mean? And she's fierce, and she's like just like the perfect little monster to help rule his little fiefdom or whatever.
Well, and it's also, and this feels creepy to get in this guy's mind, but I mean, he's a dude, and if you want to say love at first sight, right?
Right.
In the show, he's like, I saw it right away because she's holding a gun on him.
Right.
But to your point, I don't know if that's enough to see darkness.
Yeah.
What as a man, what hooks you, as disgusting as it sounds, is how you look.
Yeah.
And if you're just, you know, pretty little girl threatening to blow your fucking head off.
There's a dichotomy. The dichotomy,
I
like,
can see
really
him being like, ooh, on both levels, right?
Exactly.
In a sick
exactly.
way.
But I mean, this is, I'll take it with a grain of salt, because ultimately I do feel like it was done pretty well, and I do think she's doing a great job. But you mentioned something, holding the gun. The way she was holding that gun, I was just like, she is so teeny. Like, was she just not able to hold the gun right?
Oh,
She
you did
literally
listen to the podcast. Okay. It's a real fucking gun. It's not a prop gun. They used a real gun, but it's extremely heavy. So Bella Ramsey, they wanted her to struggle with the gun. Like, they didn't mind that because they wanted to show how not only this is a brand new thing for her, kind of, but it's difficult for her. Like, you know what I mean? It's not like an easy thing to physically hold the gun. And he said, Greg Mason said there were even some takes that made it in where you could see she's not keeping it because Bella kept dropping it. Right? She kept.
Oh, really?
They had to keep telling her to raise the gun, Bella. Her fucking arms was sore the next day. Like, she was feeling it in her pecs and shit. So.
Oh, wow.
I don't know if that's related to what you were saying, but.
Well, what I was saying was anyone who's ever held a rifle, you don't hold, like, the butt needs to be in your shoulder.
Right.
You know
to
what
brace
I mean?
For
like,
the
it's under, if it's under your armpit, you're going to get fucked up when you shoot that gun. Like, it's going to mess you up.
Is that where she had it? I don't remember.
And it was underneath her arm, and I was just like, what the fuck is she doing? Like, come on, man. Like, Joel taught her a little bit about shooting. I mean, she should know to keep the fucking butt of the gun against her shoulder.
That's probably something that David saw. I mean, he sees, and they say it in the podcast, but I think it's obvious in the show. He reads her like right away. Like, he sees through her.
Right.
Completely. And he's charmed by it. He's charmed by how she's fighting so hard to be tough and standing her ground, but clearly she's like ill-equipped and not up to the task. unfortunate for him to think that she's not.
Yeah, exactly.
Till he gets a fucking meat cleaver in his fucking face, which is what he deserved.
Dude, that was great. That scene was so great. Like, I just loved it. They did such justice to the game. Like, it was so good.
They did make a change though, because Joel doesn't. I think in the game he pulls her off.
I mean, yeah, but that doesn't really matter. She's already done chopping him up though at that point.
Yeah,
Like,
right.
Like, she's just sitting there with blood all over her.
And he doesn't
you
come
know?
to save the day. Like when you're playing the game, you think Joel's gonna bust in, but it's good. She saves herself, which is a big statement.
But I will say there was one part that I thought, like, and this was right out of the game too, when he's like going through the different parts of the. I'm pretty sure it was him, right? He's going through different parts of the town, like looking for her. And then he goes into one building, and you see like the carcasses, like the
people,
dead
the bodies,
the bodies like hanging up, like
skinned
freaking,
and headless, and
yeah, dude, it's like Rocky, like the meat scene in Rocky, like.
That's a deleted scene. A guy in the corner like punching one of them, like, "Hey,
exactly.
Hey, you mind here? I'm trying to work
You're
out.
gonna break the ribs." Like,
Big Sam hit him in the kidney, so that's what I'm doing. Hey,
shit.
Oh, torture scene. I love the Joel torture scene.
Oh yeah, pop your fucking kneecap off. Because like when he stabbed it that way, it was like, oh yeah, right in the fucking knee.
You ever like jump on a bed and like or something and hit
or
your
just
kneecap?
hit your knee and like push it off to the side or something?
Dude, can you imagine? God
Holy
damn.
fuck. Oof. Oh my god. But that scene is so good.
Leave him alone.
Oh, you're next.
Oh, please. I don't know any girl. Oh, fuck, Jesus! Marco.
No. He can't help you. You focus right here, or I'll pop your fucking kneecap off.
That scene is so good where he like puts a knife in his mouth to point where he is, a point where he needs to go. He's like, thank you, and like fucking kills him like real quick. The other guy's like, what the fuck? Why'd you do that? He told you what you needed to know.
So I'm not gonna tell you anything. It's okay. I believe them.
Yeah, exactly. He told you the truth. He's like, I'm not gonna fucking tell you anything. Like, that's okay. I believed him. And then just beats the shit out of that guy. Like, it's just so brutal.
I know.
It's so
I loved it.
So good. It's so good.
That's what you get. Yeah. That's what you get. I think I'd be perfectly equipped for the apocalypse too. Maybe I wouldn't. Maybe I say that now, but I don't know. Someone kidnapped my fucking daughter.
Have you ever seen This Is the End
with Seth Rogen and
with Seth Rogen and
yeah.
Danny McBride like leaves, like runs off like halfway through the movie, like he doesn't want to be trapped in the house anymore. He's like, fuck this, I'm getting out of here. And then the whole movie happens and you think it's about over. And then Seth Rogen and the other guy like get out onto the street and they get taken prisoner by these like raiders. And then you realize it's Danny McBride and he's
right.
He's taken over this like band of raiders, and then you see this like guy like at his feet, like kind of like worshiping him, like hugging his feet, and they're like, "What the fuck, Danny? What's going on?" They're like, "Who's that guy?" He turns, he's like, "Hey guys." He's like, and it's fucking Channing Tatum.
I forgot about
it's
that.
It's fucking Channing Tatum, like worshiping Danny McBride. Like, oh my god, it's so funny.
If you were the Danny McBride character, we pull up on you and it'd be like Charlie Hunnam at your feet.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Don't you fucking walk that way, god damn it.
Or he'll be like your little horsey. You're in a carriage whipping him.
Yeah.
Walk, boy, walk properly.
Ladies and gentlemen, can I please have your attention? I've just been handed an urgent news story, and I need all of you to stop what you're doing and listen.
If you want to become a patron and support our show, which we are going to hopefully use to fund doing video eventually, go to patreon.com/baldguysbadmovies. And if you donate $5 or more, we will choose one lucky patron to choose a movie for us to review. Every month, we're going to pick one lucky patron to one of our baldies. To which I've decided that's the name. They're baldies now.
Not bald
They're
bitches.
Baldy. No, I think just baldies is good. Okay. Yeah, I mean it's a little less offensive. we'll offend them with our retorts,
Right,
with our banter. I think that will be a fun little interactive thing for our audience, and I would like to say thank you to all the people who continue to listen and enjoy our ridiculous banter.
I second that, and I think it's appropriate time to mention that we have surpassed 1,000 downloads. We're now at 1,198 downloads. So thank you,
and
guys.
That is all thanks to you guys, and I can't thank you all enough.
Exactly. Thanks for sticking with us, and
Yep.
I hope we've entertained you, and giving you some substance in between the idiotic things we say about these films.
And if you want to contact us about anything in particular, you can email us at baldguysbadmovies@gmail.com, and we'll be happy to respond.
So hype for the next episode, last episode,
Oh,
the last episode,
the last of The Last of Us. Holy shit, dude! This is gonna be fucking epic.
Yeah, I can't wait to see the reactions.
People are gonna shit their pants.